Hello all and welcome back to High Ridge Farm with me, the Walrus. It is the 19th of the winter month. We are almost through the entirety of year 4 now, but I am quite grateful because we've managed to achieve harvesting all of the key fruit that we need. I mean, obviously we haven't shipped it all out yet, but, you know, we're at least part of the way there, making sure that we've got everything sorted, which is good. And, it's kind of what I'm after. Making sure that everything is done. I mean, it makes sense, right? So, yeah. We'll give it a go. Right, let's quickly whack the ground and see what we can find. I mean, anything exciting? Well, to be fair, any extra stuff is always good. I'm never going to be upset about finding more. That sounds really silly, but powder melons are literally my big jam, and I want them. The thing is, I know they're not that valuable, but I like them. There's just something about them I like. And I'm painfully aware it's very silly. But hey, I don't care. I like silly. And I always will. I think that's kind of going to be a given for me. Is like, if I can do weird and wonderful, yes, I will happily do that, please. So yeah. Anywho, so it looks like the lovely bookseller is in today, and he's got diddly squat to give us today, which is fine. I can deal with that. I mean, it would be nice if he did have something, but no, absolutely nothing. Fine. I will live with that as a fact. It could be worse, but again, it's not the end of the world. Because we've already bought all the books, and I think that's something I keep forgetting, is that actually there's not much else that I need to do right now. So, what I do need to do, though, is that bizarre request from Robin for fresh stone. Like, what? All of my what? What distinguishes a stone as being fresh? Very peculiar. But the thing is, now I'm going to grab myself a selection of gubbins. And my aim here is to clear out the quarry. Because as you can tell, it's quite heavily, not polluted per se, but I nearly said that. It's heavily saturated in stone, and I don't really care for this quantity of stone right now. And I know describing it as polluted is a bit mean, really. But it's not what I'm after. I think it'd be a good idea for me to clear this entire area out, actually, thinking about it. I'm wondering, if I clear it out, could I end up with anything else? So, I wonder if I could plant a bunch of trees in here. I'm wondering if I can plant fruit trees in here. That would be really nice if I could. Obviously, not sure if that's feasible because, of course, we're not on the farm right now. But if it is, that would make me very happy. Because then I'd have even more areas of... might have a proper orchard, actually, to be fair. And if I can't, I think that would be the sort of thing that it'd be nice to have as an expansion bit to turn the quarry into an orchard, because the quarry is kind of it feels like a moot point to me. There's not much in it that I find particularly useful. Really? Like, there's just not much here, is there? I mean, yes, I know it feels a bit mean to sort of say that, but what's the point in it at this sort of stage? Like, what? It doesn't give me anything that kind of well, makes me want to get, well, not really want to get anything, but it doesn't exactly make me super bothered by it. It sounds very awful and silly, but is kind of, that's my logic anyway. But either way, it would be really interesting if I could slap down some trees and then get more. Because that would be nice. Because, of course, why would it not be nice? More stuff is great, and I'm never going to be upset about that. And having more trees is actually just quite nice, really. And yeah, of course, there's not like, I don't really need a silly amount of trees right now, but it'd be cool. So yeah, let's keep giving this a try. Not expecting much from it, but hey, you never know. Right. Well, let's go visit Robin, as she is the one who's given us the quest for fresh stone. Oh, of course, she's not at home. How very helpful of her. I wonder where she's hiding. Somewhere, I would assume. Well, let's grab some powder melon seeds. I still would like to know what the distinction of fresh stone is. I know this is going to be my bugbear at the moment. But, well. Right. Let's see. Is she easily visible in the town? That's going to be the question. Ah, there she is. So I will hand over the stone as you requested, you strange carpenter lady. I say that and definitely would have preferred to be able to marry Robin. Not, I mean, Leah's alright, but I'd rather have Robin. Mostly for free upgrades in the house. I mean, I know it wouldn't be free, but a man can dream, right? I'd much rather have upgrades on the house being just done. That'd be nice. I mean, yeah, I know I'm not expecting much, but that's a thing. Right. Is there anything else that we can sort of wrangle? Well, we've got a few more things that we need to organise a little bit today, which is fine. We've got a lot more stone. Again, not really needing any of the building supplies. It would be a bit of a rarity for me to actually need any of them, to be fair. They are in quite an abundance. But yeah, I think I'd like to replace some of the jade-producing crystallariums with fire quartz. I think that would be nice, just to have some more of that, because I'm going to need it anyway for more crystal pathways and things. And of course, I'm going to grab a few bits of wood and crystal pathways, because I'm going to use those to essentially decorate the quarry. I think that'll be nice. Because if I can decorate the quarry with the, well, like kind of the effect that I'm after, that'd be good. And I'm going to make some walkways. I'm going to plant some of these trees. I'm going to grab these because I'm hoping it'll work. I mean, I'm half expecting it not to, like at all. But hey, if it does, I'll be a very happy man. Because then I will have more fruiting trees and a cute little orchard. And that'll make me happy. I'm painfully aware that there are mods that do allow you to plant wherever you want. So that could also be another option for me on this one. Okay, but let's place down a nice walkway. That'll look cute. And let's turn this into a little mini sort of station hub type thing. Kind of reminds me of when I used to play Minecraft a fair bit with friends. And oh, so you can't plant the saplings here. That's disappointing. I kind of guessed that was going to be the case, though. Sucks, though. Would have been very cool if we could. Oh well, so it looks like it's regular trees for here then. But yeah, where I was going with that statement is when I used to play Minecraft with friends, it was always I would build actual physical train stations almost for our metro network of minecarts, because I thought that was quite cool. Just to have somewhere sheltered so it wouldn't get damaged by creepers and other things, because every time I'd play, I'd always end up getting annoyed by stuff exploding, and now I've got to deal with that. So it was all very well lit, and I'd thought it through and had done all sorts of vaguely clever stuff. Whilst I was doing that above ground, my friends had decided that they were going to rebuild Rapture, as they'd played Bioshock and thought, yeah. So they had a completely underwater environment, which did look very cool. I will give them that. Right, so I'm going to put down all of this lovely gubbins. That'll be good. And kind of hope for the best on this one. So let's see, what can we get here? So I think I might be able to get 3 rows of trees in. That'd be nice. I definitely need more seeds though, because I've run out mostly of pine cones, which I know might not sound like the most exciting thing, but I use them to buy powder melons. Well, I used a lot of them to buy powder melons, hence why I don't have very many right now, which is a little bit of a trouble, as I would like to have some more so I can have more powder melon. But I do need, obviously, the seeds to begin with. And I could probably replace what I've currently got going on, which is the selection of trees that I have where they are on the little raised platform area. I could probably change them for something else, maybe. I know it's a little task, it's not really much, but it's the only thing I can really think of when it comes to stuff to do with the farm at the moment, because really there isn't a huge amount that I need to do. And as I've mentioned previously, I'm looking at potentially moving on and trying the new farm layout, because I'm curious to see how well that goes. And I think I might tie that in with a attempted speed run, because of course people have said about me trying it. And again, I'm not going to look at any speed running like strategies or anything silly. So I'm going to try and make 1 million gold in my sheer idiocy and see if I can manage it, and see how quickly I can manage it, because I think that'll be an interesting challenge to myself. I'm not expecting much. It could work well. It could also go really, really badly. And as I'm sure you're painfully aware, I am an idiot. So, we will see. But I'm definitely going to keep a hold of the farm. Like, I'm not going to delete the farm at all or something daft like that. But I am going to maybe do something. I'm not sure. I'm sure I could figure something out. Not sure, though. Not sure. We'll figure it out. And as you can see for now, I'm just slapping down these. I probably am going to slap some extra fertilizer, some tree fertilizer on these, because that would be sensible, methinks. Because tree fertilizer, making everything faster, that's kind of an important, useful thing that I can do here. Because I'd rather have a little bit of speed boost on that. Because I just want the trees grown, well, technically speaking, yesterday. Oh well. Righty, it's 1:20 AM. I can't really afford to try and do more tree planting today, so let's move on to Saturday. So here we go. So we made not much money, but we made a little. It's something. I don't really care too much, really, to be fair. Because I've already got fat stacks of cash. I don't really need to worry. But let's keep on trucking, because that is the best plan. There we go. So greet the children and say hello. You are small and are wearing silly masks, and that is because I am your father and I have decided that you should wear silly things. Again, this is probably why it's a good thing I don't have any kids, because I would just end up dressing them up in the silliest of outfits, purely because I know I could. Then again, I am very much happy to be fun uncle. And my cousin's kids actually recently were quite disappointed that I wasn't at a family event. Because last family event, I'd turned up with Nerf guns. I mean, when you fill your car full of guns, you drive for 3 hours to go and visit them. And they didn't know I was doing this either. Neither did my cousins. It was just a beautiful moment of going, I'm going to keep all of your kids entertained with guns. Very much the I'm the bad influence. I'm very much going to be the bad influence uncle at family weddings. The trouble is, though, now I'm the only one who's not married out of my cousins, and so I'm going to be the. It's going to be me. Oh dear, this isn't going to go well. C'est la vie. Right, so let's quickly grab some tree gubbins. Let's see if we can get anything else out of this. Nope. Right. So, I'm impressed at how quickly stuff resaturated on the ground here. Expecting it to take longer. I mean, kind of interesting to see the quarry actually being vaguely useful. But again, I think it would be good to have something that Robin could do to it. Because it's one of those areas that is very much... I mean, I don't know about everyone else, but I don't think it's particularly useful outside of kind of the early game. And when you get access to it, to rebuild the bridge, you've probably already been able to get everything. I mean, yes, okay, you can use it as an opportunity resource of gathering more, like stone and gems and some minerals. But at the same time, you could just go down the mine. It just doesn't... It really doesn't strike me as a particularly useful part of Pelican Town. I don't know about everyone else. I mean, that is my own opinion. So please, if you've got an idea of what you think, please let me know. Because I'm sure I can't be the only one who thinks it's a little bit of a waste. I've seen some people make some absolutely fantastic tweaks to this area, turning it into a little outdoor cafe, which I thought was quite adorable and very pleasant, and I wouldn't mind doing something like that. That's quite cute. But don't know. Genuinely don't know. Surely and hopefully there's something good that one can, you know, get from it. But we'll see. So my lovely raccoon friends, they're all happy, and their entire family is all happy as such, because we've sorted them out with all of the things that they need, which makes me quite happy that we've managed that. Because that wasn't actually too much of a challenge when I look at it. It was not that difficult. And that makes me... I mean, it took a year, but I don't think it was... it wasn't like a task and a half. It's probably the best way of putting it. And I feel quite pleased that we managed it in the sort of speed that we did. And I think that's a thing, though, is like there are quite a few little things that you can sort of try to achieve and such. So, and another, I know I've seen little speedrun sorts of ideas. I'm sort of like umming and ahhing. Do I want to do the 1,000,000 gold? Do I want, and if I do 1,000,000 gold, am I going to allow myself to buy things? So, do I have to get 1,000,000 gold as a stockpile, or does 1,000,000 gold worth of stuff sold? Is that going to be my goal? I wonder if I could do a poll on that. That might be a good idea. Sort of get people to give me a... What do they think would be fun for that? But I'm also... I think once I've done that, I might take a little break from playing some Stardew for a little bit and do some other gaming. Sort of try and figure out what other things would be quite good fun. So I've still got Graveyard Keeper that I want to play. I've been neglecting even opening it. I've installed it, but I've decided that I'm not going to allow myself to actually touch it until such a time that I have got more opportunity time and have decided to do more, finish doing Stardew stuff. Because that was my my logic on that one. Maybe not the best of plans. I mean, that was an idea at least. It's what I had chosen to do. But anyway, we've still got more stuff to organise here, as you can tell. So let's see if we can actually organise all of these. So we're going to swap them out and have more of the very useful fire quartz. And I thought I could just swap it out. I didn't think I had to break it to actually sort that out. I thought I didn't have to break it, which is a bit weird. I mean, if that's the case, I obviously have been mistaken, which is a shame if that is the case. I'll live, though. It's fine. It just feels a bit weird. Because the thing is, when you know, you go, oh, I'm pretty sure this is how this works. Apparently not. Anyway, I'm going to grab myself some of the fish that are hanging around in my traps. And, I mean, heck, you can see, like, there's not really much else that I can sort of do at the moment with regards to the farm layout, considering it is the winter. And, I mean, heck, we know that it's going to be a little bit anticlimactic in its in regards to actually being able to grow anything. Kind of a given, to be fair. It's the winter. I think that's why I like the powder melon so much, because I love the winter season, and I know there are winter crops that few and far between, but they do exist, and I think I do kind of find winter veg and things kind of maybe not fascinating, but they're a thing that I'm more curious about. That obviously they aren't specifically something that has evolved over years to be there so we can eat it, but you know, it's a thing. And yeah, I find it interesting more than anything, and I think that's perfectly reasonable, right? Ooh, so we've got all of these ready, so let's replace these with some fruit, and we've got some mead there, which is nice. I would like to be able to do a 2-item kegged thing. So I'd like to do like an apple and mead or something, and make an apple infused mead or something, a spiced apple mead, something like that, because that would be quite cool, I think, because that's again another thing that one could do. I mean, I don't know if that would work in, I mean, I can't see why it wouldn't. But again, unfortunately, I'm not a particularly talented individual when it comes to things like mods. So, yeah. We live and kind of learn with that, unfortunately. I mean, again, I've never made one, and I mean, I've done some basic stuff. I've actually been a voice of a couple of things in some mods for games. And I've recently auditioned for a couple of roles in some games. I wouldn't mind getting them, that would be quite nice. I mean, kind of a given, right? I'd like to be in a video game, thanks, that would be nice. And heck, I did try to audition for Fallout London. I think I've got the right voice for it, but I don't know if it's quite where they were looking. Unfortunately, as I'm sure they probably already had the over-the-top royal sort of already taken care of. But yeah, that was a thing that I tried to do. So yeah. So we're going to quickly harvest all of the lovely mixed crops that we've got here on the island. And, oh my goodness, look at all the starfruit. I mean, it's kind of a given that it's happening. It's, we need to harvest this regularly. It's going to be a thing. I'm not too worried. It's a thing. But it does keep the starfruit wine on production, and that's really all we need, is more starfruit wine. And I think that's just kind of important. We're always going to need starfruit. And yeah, I'm just trying to think if there's any other sorts of fruits, veg that I could use. That'd be quite good. Because the thing is, starfruit's so valuable, it's kind of a moot point when it comes to anything else. Which I know seems a bit maybe over the top as a decision to go for, but oh well. Right, so let's sell those that we don't need. So the higher quality ones, the iridium quality ones, because I'm just going to turn the others into wine. And I think that's kind of the thing that I've got to look at is how, if I am going to do a speed run, how am I going to do it? Because genuinely thinking about it, I'm going to want to try to get as many resources enough that I can actually, well, do I want to try and get preserve jars and such, or is that going to be worth it? And I probably don't want to just keep growing parsnips, do I? I mean, I don't think so. Yeah, I'm going to have to sort of give it a go. And also, again, like I said, I've got to figure out what is the actual goal for me. So yeah, I'll give it a try. But otherwise, I'm looking at a couple of other cozy games to sort of play. And I'm sure there's a few more secrets that I can unlock and sort of achieve within Stardew. But what I'd like to do before that is that once I've done this speed run, then I will allow myself to start using the wiki again. Like, the last time I used it was, goodness, when I very first started playing Stardew, which is the better part of, goodness, when it was released. I think it's probably the easiest way of putting it. That was last time I really had even an inkling of looking at it. And I think that's quite reasonable. But yeah, I'm genuinely curious to see what could I manage and what could I learn about Stardew, and maybe make a few videos on just some of the weird and wonderful bits of Stardew, because there's lots of just strange but quite sweet stuff still in the game. Yeah, there's some very, I would say, daunting bits when the grandparents, they have that, oh, this might be our last year with Alex, I think. And it's like, you might be right, but goodness gracious, that it's a dark tone. There's a lot of surprising dark bits in Stardew, I think. Which, to be fair, I think I'm curious to see if Graveyard Keeper actually is a little bit more of that. Because, heck, I don't know. I've never played it, and I've seen somebody play it. Never watched a Let's Play or anything. My brother has a copy, and I watched him play a little bit of it. And I'm, like I say, genuinely curious. Because I think it might be quite good fun. So I'm just going to greet everyone in the bar and say hi. Whilst we... I mean, there's not really much else that we can do here today. But, you know, say hi to everyone. It'd be nice. Pretend to be friendly. And as much as Clint is being slightly creepy, he's being quite friendly today. That's the thing is, I do feel bad for Clint, because he doesn't help himself, does he? With his behaviour. I mean, I can understand being cautious about how you come across. But he does, unfortunately, just come across as a bit of a twit. Which I feel bad for him for in that sense, because he does... He might not mean to, but he does... Doesn't do himself very many favours, I feel. Right, so let's reorganise that, and let's have a quick look and see, is there anything I want to cook? not sure. And I do need some more resources. I do need more food items, I feel. Like, I've got a reasonable amount of food in the fridge. But really, so it's Evelyn's birthday today, but nothing else going on tomorrow. I think this is going to be the first time I've actually gone to bed before midnight in a very long time. Goodness, the idea of going to bed at 9 o'clock of my own accord seems like absolute madness. But I genuinely don't think there's much else I can do today. So, that's what's happening. So, we are on to Sunday now, and the final day of the week. Now, obviously, we've got some more prismatic shards and some other thingies, and that's fine. Let's see. So let's deposit all the coffee beans that we don't need, because we do have quite a few of those. I mean, I need coffee. I always do. It's an essential part of my diet. High quantities of caffeine. Which, unfortunately, I've kind of fallen in the trap of energy drinks again. I've been trying to get myself away from them, but unfortunately, I've let myself fall back into them. Which is not good. But it's only because I can drink them over a longer time, and I like the flavour. But talking of liking flavour, hopefully this lovely aged starfruit wine will be lovely and delicious, and a fantastic opportunity for me to improve extra gubbins going forward within the farm, because of course why would we not want more of that? All about some more starfruit goodies. So yes, let us do. Anything else that we can do here? Well, let's fling all of those away that we don't need, which of course is a few things. That's fine. I'll live. What else? Well, it looks like the ancient fruit is all available, which is lovely. And again, never going to be upset about ancient fruit being ready, because ancient fruit is, of course, phenomenally useful. Yes, I know I lamented about it not being as good as starfruit, but at the same time, it only has a singular outlay. You don't, well, it's not really even an outlay, is it? You don't really buy ancient fruit seeds, you make them. So yes, okay, you can't get like a dependable amount of them to begin with, but they're not, because they're continuously flowering, it's not like you're gonna struggle in that regard. Which is nice, if I'm honest. Yes, I was a bit, as I say, lamenting about them, but they're still damn good. Right, back to the... Oh, goodness. Looks like all the preserve jars are ready in this one. That's good, so we're going to quickly replenish these. Now, I'm thinking, considering it's stuff to do today, I might go and delve into Skull Caves. Because it's been a while since I've gone down there, and heck, I'm just feeling like a little bit of adventure today. Go and flatten some enemies and have some fun. And it's not got any specific events or anything going on. And I've flubbed the fish challenge from Mr. Key because I just didn't spend any time actually doing it. So I've wasted my time on that one. But let's put some of this lovely powder melon in to grow, because that would be nice. I mean, we might get something good out of it. I'm not expecting it. I mean, like, obviously, other than the powder melon preserves, I mean, it's not like silly valuable. Be nice if it was, though. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's really, really valuable as that's available in this sort of season. Because the crystal fruit wine, again, I like the idea of it, but I know it's not valuable. That's the problem I've got with it. Ah, well. I think that's just kind of a curse, though, isn't it, with a lot of the winter things, is that there's not much that... You can't make a silly amount of money from crops, of course, because, well, it's the winter. But you can still make a decent amount of money from your forageables and your other gubbins. But the forageables aren't... you're not really going to want to try and turn them into wine, are you? I don't think. Because that doesn't seem to make much sense to me, and my sensibilities at least. Right. I do enjoy the fact that I have the 2 pianos. I'm very glad that I was able to finally afford one. Because I like having pianos. It makes me happy. I know, small things, small minds, but it's the little things that make you happy with how your game looks and feels and plays. I am disappointed there's no way of actually playing said piano other than you just sit at it. That would be quite nice. But I'll live. I'm sure it could very much be a lot worse. So I'm not too worried. But I do need some sugar because I didn't realise I'd used all my sugar beets. I genuinely thought I had some lying around. But apparently that is not the case. Kind of frustrating because I need them to make ginger beer because I need to stack luck. Because that's going to be the, not really the, well, I was going to say my saviour, it really is, isn't it? Because the higher my luck, the greater chance of finding the boreholes that one can jump down. And I'd much rather get further down because the rewards are better. You're more likely to find, you know, useful things. So that's really what I'm going to aim for is high luck, get down, and get everything we need. So whilst we're in the desert, let's see if there's anything else that we can kind of see that we need to deal with or anything else. I mean, I'm not expecting anything much, but hey ho, who knows? That's are you propositioning me, Sandy? I'm married to your friend's sister. So please don't. Anyway, let's move away from Sandy. I know I've seen not really a surprising, but I have seen a number of people who are the Sandy fan club who were like, no, we'd love to be able to marry her. And I'm like, that's fair. Mysterious lady in the desert. Why not? I would also like to see maybe potentially in future expansion bits for Stardew, like maybe post the 1.6, because you know has been mentioned there's potential for more stuff. Be nice to be able to visit the city a bit more. I'm kind of feeling very early Pokemon vibes of the sorts of things that you can do in the city, like, oh look, you're in like Cerulean City. It's all different and new, and it's like compared to Pallet Town. Yeah, of course it is. But you know, silly little things like that. It'd be kind of nice to see what one might be able to do. Like your day trip excursions with Pam. Suddenly, you don't just have to go to the desert. You can go elsewhere. I do like the new desert festival, actually, to be fair. I think that's quite a pleasant, sweet thing to add to the game, because it's nice as things go. But for now, we're going to try and get far down as possible, just restock a little bit on the minerals, well, the metals, the ores, so we can just smelt them down, get some stuff, have some more bars, be ready. Again, I'm not really likely to need any of them anytime soon, but it's I'd rather have them. Also, it's something to do. Because for now, we've got to get Caroline a present. Now, she's going to be super easy because she just likes green tea. Not just green tea, but she does like green tea. So she's quite easy to buy for, in that I can just go and make some tea. I know I'm really articulating today, aren't I? Goodness gracious. But yeah, there's not really a huge amount that I can say that's of much concern, really, is there? when it comes to Christmas this year, or the Feast of the Winter Star for this year. I don't think it'll be difficult to make some people happy this year. I mean, we'll see what I get, though, because I've still not received the tea set. I know where that's the most unlikely rare drop, but again, a man can dream. And that's what I'd like to dream about, is fun things like that. Now, I could have chosen, when I chose my blessing from the dwarf statue, to have more... what are they called? Things. Yeah, you know what I mean. Those things. Yeah, no, I could have chosen to have a greater likelihood of finding the holes and ladders. But I felt that actually being immune to bomb damage would have been it's just a better thing for the way that I tend to play. Even though I'm relying on getting more of these... more of these shafts to jump down, I do kind of rely again on having the immunity to bomb damage, because I do generally go around just throwing bombs left, right and centre, so again it makes sense to the way I play. But I think that's an interesting sort of like a point, is, as I've made a couple of comments on previously, is that everyone plays games in a different way, and I don't think there's really yeah, okay, there are ways that would be maybe less optimal when one plays a game. For some games, of course. But I'm not quite the sort of person who is of the opinion that oh yeah, but if you don't do it exactly this way, why would you do that? You know, that sort of thing. Which just, it's not my jam. I've always been kind of like, rule of cool, do what you want. When I used to play Fallout 76, I specifically and exclusively used railway rifles because it made choo-choo noises when you fired it. Well, reloaded it. And I thought it was a fun weapon. It was absolutely ridiculous. The ammo weighed an absolute ton. It was very much of this is a daft weapon, but I'm going to use it all the same. I think it's fun. And I had lots of fun using it. Unfortunately, the game itself was dull and repetitive. It was one of those games that I felt that had so much potential that kind of got wasted. I didn't like I think this is going to sound really potentially scathing, but I didn't like the fact that it was an open MMO, essentially. I would have much rather have had it in a similar style to Borderlands, where you could have your friends join you if you wanted. They don't have to. That I would have been much more in favour of. Optional friending. Because sometimes people are just, I don't want to deal with you. I want to play on my own. But I thoroughly enjoyed playing through Borderlands 1 and 2 with a friend. But I would have liked to have been able to play through maybe with a couple of friends and seen the different ways that like maybe different weapons could have worked out, and like one of us could go melee specializing, one of us could use energy weapons as specializing, but there's no that isn't a thing so much in 76. Well, at least it wasn't when I was last playing it, so I do maybe it's a bit better, but I could be wrong. But for now, I ain't touching it. But for now, we've also got lots of areas that we need to detonate with bombs and explode mummies, which is not like a particularly difficult thing to do. We just have to whack them a couple of times with a hammer, and then, well, we move on and we slap them again with a bomb and get rid of their bandaged corpses. Be gone. And the amount of mummies, though, is quite a lot of them. It's somewhat alarming, if I'm honest, because that's a lot of it's a very large number of the undead, isn't it? It's very worrying, because the amount of corpses you are essentially defiling by obliterating them of ancient peoples, and it feels a bit mean. mean, just saying. Oh well, let's just blow up some more iridium ore. Because we're always going to want more of it. I mean, look at that. That's quite a nice selection of gubbins we've got there. That's great. We're always going to need more of that. So, let's go down. Further into the mines. Ugh, I hate these rooms. I know I've made it that, like, abundantly clear. I hate these snaking rooms. But thankfully we have a passageway down. And a chest, which has golden boxes. Meh. I was hoping for an auto petter or something. The thing is, I've only got 2, and I'd like to have more. There are other ways of getting them now, aren't they? Actually, they do appear in the golden packages occasionally. So maybe I should actually be less disappointed by them. I mean, yes, I'm re-rolling on the random chance of who knows what I might obtain, but still annoying. But ah well. I'm going to flatten that bat and keep on trucking. I mean, there's not really much else I can say on that front, is there? I've just got to keep on slugging forward and hope for the best. Lots of enemies to die. Oh, go away, silly dinosaur thing. Just in the way. Be gone. Again, I could grab the bones. I'm not super concerned by them, really. I mean, yes, I can use them to make fertilizer, though. Maybe I should be a bit more proactive with them. I think for me, I'm always going, oh, that's a gemstone, therefore they're more valuable. But really, sometimes they're not as valuable as, well, individually as valuable at the time in question. Financially, yes, they might be, but they're not. They might not be as physically useful. Which is definitely a thing. Something to consider. Because there have been times where I've gone, oh, I need this particular resource, and if I don't get that particular resource, well, I don't care. I'm trying to think of a couple of examples. I think there was a time when I was really struggling for fibre. I think was one of the big ones, and thankfully, though, I didn't struggle for long. But at the same time, that is a thing. I could, in theory, have sort of struggled with fibre as a thing that I need. Thankfully, though, I am currently not struggling for it. Because I have fibre plants, and they grow fibre for me. That makes my life easier. So, let's keep splatting some horribles whilst we're working our way further down. I mean, it's kind of a given we're going to see lots of horrible creatures and critters while we're down and exploring cave systems, but ugh, sometimes they just annoy me. Especially the serpents, although I think they annoy a lot of people. I know I'm not the only one they upset and annoy. Okay, and you're dead, and goodness gracious, still more stuff. Okay, I'm going to whack you with a hammer, that'll be fine. And a bomb, and a way out. And that's really what we're after, it's just ways out. Ways out and ways down. I don't really care about much else on that front, sort of, really. As long as I can get out of here, that's really all I can say, isn't it? Let's see. I'm going to put another bomb down here. Bang. I think it's going to be time that I start heading home soon, though, because there is a need for generally doing things, isn't there? Like, preparing myself for the next day. But right now, I'm not sure. Like, I don't really need much else, to be fair. So yeah, let's keep slugging through and see what we can find. Oh, another passage down, so that's good. I mean, we're going to need these, of course, because we need to get the heck out of here. And probably going to head back to... So I say probably. We're heading back to civilization now and see what we can actually do with all of our ill-gotten goodies. So let's see what gubbins that we've actually obtained and we can actually use today. So, I mean, I know it's not like the most complex of challenges to myself there, in that regard. So let's grab and go. Deposit all the things away that we don't need right now, and that's fine. I mean, again, we're going to be doing that a lot, which is all well and good. Well, I don't think that's anything else that I can really do today, is there? I mean, it's coming up to midnight, so let's quickly dump this stuff in here. So thank you very much for tuning in. If you have enjoyed, please do like, share, and subscribe. I'm going to be doing some more weird and wonderful stuff with Stardew for the next couple of weeks. Got some more shorts on the way as well, if you've enjoyed some of those. I've been quite pleased by the amount of reach they've had, so they're always nice. Yeah, do leave a comment as well if you've it's your first video, you're tuning in. Always nice to hear from you, and hey, tell me what you liked, tell me what you didn't like. I'm more than happy to change things and listen to what people think what people enjoy. But a big shout out, thanks goes to my patrons on Patreon. I'm going to be starting doing some specific extra voice lines as well as the blooper reels of my recording, because goodness gracious, there are very many of those. And as well as that, some of the more custom voice work stuff that you can also get access to by subscribing to the Patreon. So, as I've said, thank you very much, everyone, and I will hopefully catch every one of you once I have grabbed all these diamonds. Hopefully I'll catch every one of you the next time the Walrus plays Stardew Valley.